The Everglades Outpost is home to over 600 rescued animals. Whether they're confiscated, relinquished, abandoned, or injured, the outpost will give them a permanent, loving home.
Good morning. So Chris and I are on our way down to the Everglades Outpost, which is a 501c3 sanctuary in Homestead. We have about an hour drive, but Chris is doing one of his underwater alligator tours today.
Yep.
We're going to do some volunteering, maybe some alligator and crocodile training. We'll have to see what the day brings, but stay tuned.
So we just got to the outpost. We're gonna start off by doing some meal prep, feeding some of the animals, giving them fresh water, things like that. One of the first things we do when we get to the outpost is the morning feeding. We'll cut up a bunch of fruits and vegetables, and then we'll hand deliver them to each of the animals' enclosures. With over 700 rescued animals living at the sanctuary, they all require different dietary needs, and some even require a little bit of special care. This handsome little man is our brown lemur named Kenya. He's one of our special needs animals. Kenya's previous owner had all of his teeth removed. They wanted to keep a lemur as a pet without the risk of getting bit. That's why Kenya's tongue sticks out. There's no teeth to hold his tongue in his mouth. He also requires a special diet of soaked monkey biscuits and some fruits. Then it's time to feed the rest of the animals. After feeding the animals, there's always work to be done. Whether it's cleaning dishes, filling up water bowls, cleaning gator tubs, or scrubbing the garbage. Someone's got to do it. Meanwhile, Chris is busy doing one of his underwater alligator tours. This tour takes place in a 30,000-gallon crystal clear alligator lagoon. It's the only place in the entire world where you can safely and legally get up close and personal with American alligators. It's truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you don't want to miss. The outpost also takes in a lot of injured alligators.
A lot of injured wildlife, and this alligator just had surgery a couple of days ago. The foot was badly injured and had to be amputated. And so we're gonna see if we can gently take the bandage off. That looks really clean. I've been volunteering here at the outpost for over 10 years now, and I mainly work with the venomous snakes, the gators, crocs, and then Sable, the panther that I helped raise.
Chris and Sable have an amazing bond together. He's helped raise her since she was 2 weeks old. Sable came to the Everglades Outpost when she was really sick and weak, but with a little bit of TLC and a whole lot of love, she's made a full recovery. Unfortunately, Sable was also declawed as a cub, so she's not releasable back into the wild. But luckily for her, she will always have a permanent home here at the outpost.
So we're going to do a little bit of training, name training with some of the crocs and gators over here. So as you can see, we have a ton of alligators coming up, and when you're working with this many animals, name training really comes into play because it allows you to select a specific individual and reward that one, and it's really helpful for feeding, because right now there's no way we're going to work with all of these gators. It's going to be total chaos, you know, and especially going in there trying to feed with that many alligators, it's not going to be a good time. So that's why we're going to scare the rest of them off, and then work with the select individuals that we've been training.
So we are in the largest alligator enclosure at the facility. There's probably over 100, would you say?
At least.
At least 100 alligators in here. There he is trying to eat my stick. So all the alligators that we have in here, these are unreleasable animals. I know they look big, strong, and healthy, but these were deemed dangerous by the state. These are what we call nuisance alligators. Now the state kills about 8,000 nuisance alligators every single year. These guys behind me are the lucky few that get to live. I'm one of the only non-kill choppers, myself, Chris, and Paul. And instead of killing the alligators, we bring them here at the Everglades Outpost, and that's where they're going to spend the rest of their lives.
So we're doing name training with the alligators, and this is something I've been doing for, I don't know, going on almost 10 years. Ever since I started working with alligators, I really started the name training thing and trying to figure it out. And so it helps a lot to distinguish certain animals. You can feed specific animals and not the others. So in an enclosure like this, we're dealing with over 100 alligators at a time. And if I were to come in here and just randomly feed everything in here, just on foot like this, it's going to be extremely dangerous. You're going to have some problems. You might not make it out of there. Now, we do feed all of them, and when all of them are fed, you can just dump like literally a truckload of meat over the side. Everybody gets to eat. There's plenty of food to go around. But when we're trying to work with specific animals, we can isolate them by teaching them their name, teaching them to associate their name with food so they come up for it. This also helps with animals that may have health issues. Like this one right here. This guy's name is Harold. And Harold there has some health issues. As you could probably tell, his face is pretty messed up from fighting. He's very skinny, emaciated. You can see his arm is broken and healed. So he's got a lot of issues.
Harold. Harold. Harold.
And sometimes when you're working with wildlife, things don't exactly go according to plan.
Nope, it wants you. It's gonna jump at you.
So when you're working with alligators or any predator, it's really important that you make sure that all your moves are carefully thought out. There's a video of a guy who throws a piece of food, the alligator or the crocodile doesn't catch it, and he goes to reach for it and he actually gets his hand bit. So if you drop a piece of food and you reach your hand out, they will bite you at a feeding response. So if that's your hand and you go to grab a piece of chicken, you will get bit.
Another alligator that requires specific care is an alligator named Flaco. This alligator is actually blind.
So I've got this huge piece of meat here. This is for Flaco. There you go, big guy. So he's actually a blind alligator, and he is chomping that down, huh? So this eye is blind, can't see anything. This eye is actually missing. So he has a really hard time with the big feedings. So that's why I name trained him years ago and have him selectively coming to his name. Octo. Octo. So this is Octo, the octogator, and he actually has 8 toes on his front hands there. So it's polydactyly. So polydactyly is a recessive trait. It happens both in nature and in humans. There's a famous Russian Tsar family. They had polydactyly. And then there's like Hemingway's cats. Same thing, multiple toes. Octo.
Another thing that we like to do while we're training the alligators is getting them used to being handled. This makes annual checkups, wellness visits, and exams a lot easier for us as handlers.
Very good boy. So you can see his mouth's not even open. I'm not holding it shut. Mouth's not even open at all. He's not making any attempt to try to bite me or anything like that. So pretty darn cool. And that's because he knows I'm not a threat and he knows I'm not food. So he's not even trying to bite. All right. So this is Brutus. He's another alligator we're working on habituating. And so as you can see, not trying to bite me, anything like that. I'm just gently touching him, trying to get him used to being touched. But you see, I'm just letting him go, and he's just slowly walking away. And so this really helps us a lot if we have to work with the animal, vet checks, anything like that, getting him to where he actually learns to trust you and learn that you're not a threat, you're not going to hurt him.
Next, it's Harold's turn. This is the first time that I ever tried to pet or hold this alligator. He did an amazing job.
He's not trying to bite me or anything, so this is a lot of progress. Okay, it's okay.
It really is incredible to be a part of the process and to watch an alligator go from wild to habituated.
It's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much for watching our video. If you guys liked it, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We love to hear feedback, so let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to follow all of our social media accounts on Instagram. Thanks, see you soon.